You're listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo!
My compliments, little lady.
Commercial!
Break for 30 seconds.
You are now listening to BaaD Radio.
Welcome back as we launch into the second hour of BaaD Radio. I'm going to run through all the regular info for those of you who might have just joined us. I am Angela Smarito, your host, and we've got our co-host and videographer, Melissa Jacob.
Hello, hello.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I always do two. I just got to stick
cute.
with it now.
It's cute, and I like it. And her business is called Striking Brand. And if you go to baadradio.com, and that's BAAD radio.com, you can see all the previous episodes of the show there because she does a beautiful job with the YouTubes. And if you go to strikingbrand.com, which is Melissa's website, you can see all of her other work because she does video work, but she is also a photographer. All right, so we have another new guest to BaaD Radio. Please welcome Gerry Shorter with Made in Oviedo to the show.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Here, pull that microphone a little bit closer to you there. Got to make sure we can hear you.
Perfect.
That shouldn't be a problem.
All right. So first and foremost, I'm going to tell the story of how I met Gerry.
Story
Gerry. Sorry.
I've been called worse.
Gerry.
We went to Taste of Oviedo, and if anybody's ever been to Taste of Oviedo, it's at the Oviedo Mall, and I don't know how many years has Taste been around.
I'm not sure. I actually just heard about it this year because I just recently moved to Oviedo.
Okay.
So,
that was your first time being there as a vendor. So he had a table, tent, and chair set up, and I saw his merchandise, and of course I did with a little turned around, went back, and I purchased a piece from him.
Nice.
And he gave me a business card, which was a cutout thing, and I saved it, and then I reached out to him. So, so let's talk a little bit. How would you describe your business?
Basically, I do custom laser engraving and laser cut merchandise that's hand assembled. Everything from little refrigerator magnets all the way up to currently I'm working on a lighthouse that actually functions and has a rotating
How
light in
big
it.
is the lighthouse?
It's about 18 inches tall.
Oh, okay.
That sounds so neat.
Where are you from? You said you just moved to Oviedo.
Well, originally I'm from Michigan.
Okay.
I was in the Air Force for 9 years.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I separated when I was in Texas and then moved to Florida in 95.
Okay.
Went through a unexpected divorce in
2013.
I'm not sure if any divorces are expected.
No, it was quite a surprise. So I moved back to Michigan in 2013. I had a cabin there, but never was really happy there. All my friends and family and close relations were here.
It's cold there too.
I grew up with it, so it wasn't that big of a
Probably
deal.
used to it.
But yeah, you do. And then I moved back to Florida here 18 months ago to help take care of my goddaughter. She's special needs, and the state was willing to pay me a little bit to come down and help take care of her. So that's what I've been doing ever since, and I got into this.
Nice.
So tell us, how did you get started with this? Because I love everything that I'm seeing right here.
I was doing it for a couple of years prior to COVID, and then I got more deep into it when COVID happened, mainly as a means to not go insane while stuck in the house for such a long period of time.
Absolutely.
So I purchased another engraver and started getting a little bit more into it. And then as things started to loosen up from COVID, I started doing some shows, and I've been a photographer for 28 years, and I just was getting a little burnout.
On the photography?
On the photography. I've been did weddings and conventions. And
You did not do weddings.
I did 2 weddings, and after the second one, I was like, never again. If anybody ever asked me to do one, I was telling my daughter, I was like, please remind me. I said I'm never going to do this again.
A lot changed when digital came in because everybody would buy a camera and it's like, hey, I'm a wedding photographer. Well, no, you're not. You learn this because you do it for a long time.
It's hard. I had to do pictures just for a senior night for baseball. And because the woman who always does our pictures, her son was graduating senior, so she was on the field and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But having to go from here to here to take this picture to this picture, and I was overwhelmed and kind of stressed, and I was super anxious because I was like, I didn't have the right lens for this, and I had to go over here and do this. So
I can help you. But also weddings though, it's like so much more because especially on the first few when you're not used to like how things run and you don't know where people are coming from and like what you just have to be on your toes.
Well, and it's very stressful because it's basically a one-shot deal.
Exactly.
You can't redo anything.
Exactly.
And
I
I know
actually-
brides can be a nightmare.
Yeah, well, actually, I really had more problems with moms than I did brides.
Oh, I bet so.
Yeah, always, because it was always the mom wanted everything a lot more elaborate than the bride did.
Right.
So you'd end up going from a small, intimate wedding to 500 people there and stuff. So, but yeah, I actually had a good situation when I first started. A friend of mine worked at a florist. So
Okay.
at that time, not everybody was getting photography. So I would say, hey, talk to the brides. If they don't have a photographer, tell them I will do their wedding for free. If they like the images, they can purchase them. If not, there's no harm done because they weren't going to have a photographer anyways. And there'd always be some photos. And that was really a good way to get on the job training
100%.
without hurting anyone.
Yes.
So,
Love it.
and that's the problem. When digital came out, people were learning doing weddings that people were paying them for. And there's a lot of horror stories out there. So, and about 10 years ago, a friend of mine that was heavy into doing trade shows and conventions said, would you like to help me out on this show? I need another photographer. And I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of traveling involved. I got to go a lot of different places. And but the travel.
So you just have a very artistic.
Background.
I'm not happy unless I'm doing something creative.
I love that.
Yeah.
I know,
So
I do
it's
too.
just, and that's why I just really got deep into this because there's just so much room for customization. You know, you can basically do anything. You know, if you can draw it, you can make it.
Do you draw these first?
Some I purchased the designs. Some like the boxes.
Well, here, pick it up and like
Oh, okay. Yeah,
show
for
it to this camera first.
Yeah, this is just a small box. They're felt lined.
Okay.
So you can use it as a jewelry box. You can purchase them with dividers or just without dividers.
I love boxes. Are you a box person?
Yes.
I like when I go to thrift stores and stuff like that. I have to literally stop myself from buying all the boxes.
And you're like, what do I even have to put in here?
I
And I
decorate with
just
them.
like the box.
And this is a treasure chest, a
I
little more
love
elaborate.
it.
This actually is probably about 60 pieces when it's cut.
And it's magnetic too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, this one actually has a
latch.
actual treasure
Okay.
chest latch, and it has the old-fashioned wood hinges.
Nice.
Or you can have metal hinges. Like I said, there's all different ways to customize.
See,
them.
I absolutely love the look of that. I love the wood. I love everything. So that chest right there, like all those little lines that are in the wood, do you put those in
Those
there?
are all individual little slats that are put in one at
Wow.
a time.
Wow.
And then you can go real little.
Look how cute.
This is
I
a-
know, it's so
It's
cute.
so cute.
Yeah,
That looks like
and
a
it's-
wedding ring box.
It is. It's actually an engagement ring box or a wedding ring
Aw.
box.
Like, can
and
I see it? It's so cute.
yes, definitely. And you can
Cute.
get different color felt
oh,
in them.
It does.
Aw.
That's got black. That's red.
Oh my God, this is
Yeah,
the
they're
cutest thing I've
velvet
ever
lined,
seen.
so it don't scratch the ring, just like a regular ring box.
Like how cute it is. Little stuff is the best.
I know. Why is that? Oh, they have little hearts on them.
Mhm.
Look how cute. I'm just
How
gonna
much
put it
does
in the
something like
camera
that
so
go for?
you
I sell those for like $10.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
love it.
they're
Love it.
And you get to customize it with the color felt you'd like. That one's actually, this is more of a whitewash, but you can also do a standard natural color or a dark stain like the.
See, I like the stain ones.
I do
definitely
too.
Better.
I like wood grain stuff. That's why I've started using there's a product called unicorn spit.
Oh, I like
interesting.
it.
Very odd name, but what it is, it's a water-based gel stain.
Okay.
So it goes on like paint, but it acts like stain. It doesn't cover the grain like paint does. So you still get a color. Well, this is actually done with it. So
Like
you
a
can actually
mushroom.
still see the wood grain in it, but you get the vivid colors.
That's so pretty. I know we have wood planks at our house, and they painted the beautiful dark wood over with white paint before we bought the house, and it did. Like you don't get to see like all the pretty stuff that's in the wood itself. Like how cute it is.
I love it.
I know. I love it. I love
And then this
it.
is similar, but it's just
So for
stained.
those of you who are listening to us on the radio, we're looking at really, really cool cutout mushroom designs, and they're decorative. They like you put a nail in the wall and you hang it, and it's just really, really cool. I love all of this stuff. I could see somebody doing like a whole mushroom wall, or like a butterfly wall, or you know what I mean, like a theme kind.
you can
of
actually
thing.
order them also as a magnet.
Mhm,
So
for the
a lot of
fri-
people
oh,
have
okay.
them, make them into magnets, put them on their fridge, which that's an awful big fridge magnet, but
yeah.
Yeah.
depends on how big your refrigerator is.
No, this is beautiful. I'm showing everybody online. It's so pretty. It's so intricate too. My goodness gracious. There's like so many pieces that go to. Do you like create? Well, hold on. We're gonna go to break. So, just question when we get back. I'm just curious how you come up with these designs. So hold on to that thought, and when we get back, we're going to have more BaaD Radio.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Frogger's Grill and Bar. Looking for a place to go with friends or meet new ones? Then you're looking for Frogger's Grill and Bar. With daily specials, an amazing kids menu, and sports, and more sports, there is something for everyone. And don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu where everything is fresh, never frozen. With 4 great locations, there is bound to be one near you. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hopping with food and fun. And we are here with Gerry Shorter with Made in Oviedo. We just talked about Oviedo, too. Oviedo's great. Oviedo's growing, too.
I love it.
I
love it. It's a great little city.
So, and so you mentioned, well, actually, I want to talk about the design, but then I want to talk about some of the events that you've worked in. That's how you kind of do your marketing. So that piece that I was just holding, that mushroom, like, how do you design that?
So, as I said, some of the designs I purchase off of places like Etsy.
Okay.
You can also.
But that's great though, because it gives you like a map.
Right, and you have to be careful because not all of them allow for commercial use. So you just make sure it's one that you can use for commercial use. I never sell more than usually 10 of the same item.
Oh, okay.
And I don't modify it except for color, just to respect the the person that designed it. They designed it.
Oh,
to
that's
look
really
a certain
nice,
way.
and you're helping support another creative person
Exactly.
at the same time.
And that's what a lot of these people do. That's how they make their living. They
Right.
just make these designs. And then some of them I buy things off of Adobe stock, graphics, and then I combine them and come up with an idea, like the boxes, the box with the fairies on it. I buy the graphics, and then I design a box. Which box? Not that hard to design a box, but there's actually companies. There's actually a company called box.com. And you can literally go on there and design the kind of box that you want, and it draws up the plans for you to cut it.
Well, I know those little boxes, because I got one it's a music box, a little one, a little Harry Potter one. But then I saw there's a little show or a little spot in the Oviedo Mall that they have the little custom boxes with the music boxes with different shows and stuff in that.
Nice.
So
That's cute.
Yeah, I was really hoping to have the lighthouse done before I came, but it was.
Aw.
It's going to have, like I said, a little rotating mirror in it with the light that goes out, just like a regular lighthouse. And that I kind of designed so it held all the parts.
Right. So Gerry brought us gifts.
Oh, yes.
I know. I want to open. We're going to open.
I know. We're
So
opening on
We're
air.
waiting.
I
Nothing
know.
fancy, but I wanted to bring something.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, this is way fancy.
Oh, he
Oh my
customized them. They're little tumblers that have our names customized on them with the BaaD Radio logo.
I know.
He's trying to
love
be the
it.
favorite guest
I want to give you
immediately.
the biggest hug.
And they'll actually
Sweet.
keep your coffee or whatever warm for a long time.
Thank
They're really good
you.
little mugs. I actually made one for myself, which was the first one I did to get my settings right. It has a few different engravings on
Right.
it. So.
Thank
With
you
your
so much.
logo.
Well, some were different things that I tried. Just every product you get is just like this. You have to be careful because I get all of my wood from the same supplier all the time. But each batch of wood, you can get different results from the stain.
Right.
They vary. So you have to make sure if you're making a treasure chest, you make all the pieces from the same batch
That
of
makes
wood.
sense.
Or you can
Sorry.
actually
We're
get,
about to-
yeah, you get 1-2 slats in the middle that are completely lighter or darker
Right.
than the rest of them. So.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're
That
very
is the
welcome.
sweetest
Very
thing.
Thank you for
thoughtful.
inviting me. This was I was really surprised to get your email. I was like, wow, I would have never expected that. So
Well,
that's why you got to be nice to people. You never know who you're going to meet.
Well, also, you're obviously good at what you do, and
I
so
love it.
anytime we find business owners who have passion like this, it's like, let's bring them on.
Right.
We want to hear about it.
Well, the thing with a lot of this stuff too is it's kind of a labor of love. You never really can make back the time you put into it, but I just love doing it, and it's a good way to a little side business, and I have a nice room set up in the house to do
Cute.
everything,
And we know people, so we can help. We can help you grow
hey,
your
that
business.
always helps. Yes, yeah. And my website is almost fully up.
Okay.
It'll be completely up by next week.
Okay.
It's functional. It can be ordered.
So
Just
are
don't have
you-
every product up
Are
there
you
yet.
okay? Well, I was going to ask you. So, but I meant people can. Like if I wanted something custom made for my daughter's birthday, I could put in the order and you could make it for
Exactly.
me,
You can, and it'll be on there. There'll be colors to pick from. Or like this box, you can get it stained 2 or 3 different colors, or you can have it painted
Mm-hmm.
if you want it painted or whitewashed. Or
If we had an idea of like, say, could we send you a picture of something that's like, you know, along these lines, but maybe not something that you've made already?
oh, absolutely,
Do you do stuff like that?
Yeah, in fact, I met a couple of people at the Made in Oviedo or the Taste of Oviedo show that wants me. He's does custom planners. He was actually right next to me.
Okay.
And he needed some little plaques engraved on stainless steel to put on there. And then another gentleman that makes knives wants some his logo engraved on the knife. He's been stamping it, but he doesn't like it. Doesn't come out.
Oh
as
no,
clear.
gravely, but so he could bring it to you and you can do that.
Yep.
How did you learn how to do that?
I
Trial and
actually,
error.
well, actually, I just started. I come across, as you know, on YouTube, no matter what you watch, you get these random suggestions just for you, and it's like, why for me? I've never searched it. Well, started watching some videos, and I really enjoyed it. And at the time, things were a little more expensive. They've really come down.
Right.
But when I got a kind of an inexpensive engraver, and I really just kind of got hooked. And I bought a couple of larger engravers and got into it a little bit more and more, and then just said, "Hey, this is really what I want
I
to
see.
do."
I love that he suggested for him, turned it into like a total side business.
I could see that.
I think it's
100%.
awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, it's no different than the lady from Budget Blinds. You know what I mean? She had a friend that
I suggested
did
it
the
to
job,
her.
right?
Yeah.
So, but no, with BaaD Radio, we love having people on from like all different types of businesses. I mean, we've had Gatorland in here. We've had like you name it, attorneys.
Oh my gosh.
Like
We had the wrestler announcer. We've had barbers.
Oh, the Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy? Or,
Not
oh,
now, but he
He's
did
a
the
local
same
guy.
job. But yeah. I'm just trying to think the most like far-reaching things that we've had. It's really fun. It's a
Yeah,
little,
you never know who's going to be interesting. And,
Yeah.
I actually one of the things I did is I was a team photographer for the Florida Seals hockey team
nice.
when they were at
That's got
the
to be
old
hard
arena.
too.
It's tough, but I've kind of grew up around hockey, so it was
Yeah.
it was actually kind of an easy thing for me to go into. I've had more of a time photographing Little League than I have hockey,
Right.
so it was so you met some really neat people then and stuff. So I've got to I've photographed Jacksonville Jaguars football
Nice.
and Orlando Magic games
Nice.
for a friend of mine who used to work for AP, so
Right.
I'd help him out occasionally, and NASCAR for a couple of years, and
Right. See, like my marketing mind's already going like a million. I'm like, what are some of the things I'm thinking about? Like all the little things that people do at their weddings, that the little settings
Signs.
that they have on, or
even like signs for podcasts. I watch a lot of podcasts, but they always have like signs behind
custom
them.
signs.
Custom signs. It's like a big thing. So
Yeah, and I like I said, I'm not big into just engraving. I like things to have a dimension to them. So I'll almost always make everything at least 2 layers. The mushrooms are like 6 or something. But those little simple alligator magnet.
I recognize that.
Yeah.
That's from is that from Jungle Book?
Actually, no. I found it on Adobe Stock.
Did you?
Okay.
Yeah, I just really liked it. I was looking for an alligator, and I thought he
They
was
got
kind
cute.
of
he is
comical.
cute.
I think it reminds me of the snake.
Oh,
The
from
Trusted
Jungle
Me.
Book.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I didn't think he looked a lot like an alligator, but it was labeled as an alligator. So,
He's cute.
and then
We're
the
going with
little
it.
cheap, the little
Is that a
note
magnet
magnets.
too?
Yeah,
That's
This
got
would
little
be
clothespins.
great. Do you know the
Notes
lady-
from the flock.
Do you know? Are you familiar with My Oviedo store?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how some of the first shows I did when I got to Oviedo was I met Emma and I've done 3 of her shows. In fact, there's another one coming up for Mother's Day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I started meeting some of the people, and I met Fred, the rooster.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was so sad.
Why is he
Fred
dead?
has
Oh, yeah.
passed away.
He-
It was a
Fred
while
is
ago.
dead?
Fred
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
eaten by a raccoon. They think.
eaten.
My daughter used to work at that thrift store that's next to the post office, and they had a lot of chickens come and go at the time that she worked there.
Yeah, but that was a beloved one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you know the whole story of Fred? He actually got kidnapped once.
True.
Fred the chicken?
Yes.
The rooster. He got kidnapped, and there was a big deal. The police were brought into it. They finally found him, and he was actually brought back under police escort.
Oh my
He's
god.
Yeah.
special. He's a special rooster.
Everybody knew Fred.
All right. Well, we're going to talk more about Fred, but we're going to go to break real quick. So everybody stay tuned for more BaaD Radio.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Liberty Property Inspections. Your home is one of your most important investments, so don't trust it to just anyone. LibertyPropertyInspections.net, helping you protect your investment. We're here with Gerry Shorter with Made in Oviedo, and we're having a great time talking about all of this custom stuff that he makes. So let's talk about some of the different products that you have that you brought here. We're going to describe them as you hold them up, and then you want to tell us about the process a little bit.
Okay. Basically, this is just I believe it's a 5-layer.
decorative piece.
Yeah, it's just a decorative piece for the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It can be scaled in size if you wanted something bigger or something
How big
smaller.
do you go?
I can do up to like 14 by 20. So it can
I'm
make
guessing you inches, not feet.
Yes. I wish I could do things that big, but I don't think I have the room for it. And each item, it's cut in layers, and then you stain each layer different colors. Some people do them all the same. I like the different colors because it gives a little more depth
Oh,
and separates
absolutely.
everything. And then it's assembled and varnished. I coat everything with, I use shellac instead of a lacquer. The thing I like about it is when you spray it, it almost instantly, with a half hour, there's no odor anymore. And
I don't smell these at all.
Yeah.
Normally, I can smell stuff like that
they're
like a mile
very
away.
strange shellac is a very unique, when you spray it, within an hour, you actually can smell the wood and not the shellac. It's really a neat product. It's not designed for outside as much, but most of these are indoor products. I have a different coating I use if I'm making a
Something
welcome
for out-
sign or something for outside, which I
Gotcha.
do a lot of welcome signs.
Well, that's a beautiful design with all the intricate pieces in there inside the mushroom.
And then the little ring
Mentioned the
boxes that we
boxes,
looked
which
at.
I love.
These also can be scaled if you wanted something a little bigger that would hold both engagement rings or both wedding bands. You can do that also. Any color you want. This is like a whitewash. Little I do a little
Looks like a
aging.
treasure chest.
Yeah, I do a little aging on them so they look like they've been beat up like an old treasure chest.
I love
Because
them.
pirates don't make chests anymore, so so you got to make it look a little old. So, and then you can also do this is another mushroom, but it's just got some more vivid colors. This is
Right.
done with that unicorn spit. So, which I just still think that stuff is hilarious, but it's a very great product. It gives and you can. What's different about it, you can actually thin it up to 75% with its distilled water.
Okay.
So you can
And still, it doesn't mess with the quality of it?
you get the same vividness, but just a lighter tint. So it'll still have the same color, but it allows you more to see the wood grain. Or you can put it on 1-to-1, and it goes on more like a paint. But I like I said, I like seeing the wood grain. That's the I work with wood because I like seeing the wood grain.
I
So
know somebody who made like a cornhole set once out of wood like that, and he shellacked it so much it weighed like 300
Oh,
pounds a
gosh.
piece.
and then I do. This is some of the stuff I've done for the
I
shows.
love that.
Yeah, a little Oviedo
Oh, they're little
key rack with
chickens.
little chicken a silhouette. I've got 2 or 3 of these, and
Those are cute.
This is actually designed to be a single layer. But one of the things I learned is when you're using the thinner wood,
I would
it'll
be
have a tendency to
nervous.
want to warp.
Okay.
So, well, the laser, it's not a problem. The laser is so precise and has such a small dot that the detail it can cut out. I'll hand this to you in a minute. It's just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest thing is sometimes the pieces that it cuts are so small, I have to sit there with a dental tool to poke some of them out 'cause
I
they
would
don't
think
just
so.
fall
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But I found that the wood has a tendency to warp.
Because of the humidity and stuff?
So what I do is I cut 2 pieces with the grain going opposite ways. So then when you glue it together, it won't warp because there's 2 different directions in the grain.
What
That
kind
makes
of
sense.
glue? Sorry, I didn't mean to- what kind of glue do you use?
I actually have 3 different types of glue. There's one that's actually designed, it's a crazy glue for wood, basically. It's a super glue, but it dries really fast. It's designed for small, like when I do these treasure chests, I use that because I want to be able to put a piece in.
Is it like an Elmer's glue type consistency?
It's a
type?
really, no, it comes in 3 different thicknesses. You can get thin, medium, or thick. I use the thick because the thin kind of runs a little too much.
Everybody,
I know,
this is so
yeah,
intricate.
the
It's
detail is
absolutely
really fine on it.
amazing. Look
And
at
then I
that.
actually
So
use
cool.
just a super bond wood glue for larger products because you can brush it on and you get a little more working time with it. And then there's a gel glue that it dries almost instantly, but it stays pliable for a while. So you can, if something isn't completely lined up, you can readjust it. The thing I don't like about it is it leaves spider webs. It leaves the little glue strings. So you
Like
gotta,
hot glue does?
Yeah, so you got to get in there and pick those out with tweezers, and so I don't use that as much anymore. But
Out of all these things, what are the ones that you enjoy doing the most?
I love the treasure chests.
I
As
love
you
them
probably
too.
saw at my booth, I had a lot of different treasure chests. I just think they're so cool. They just because you can do them very simple and just stain them. I had a couple there that actually sold. I was going to bring one of them with me. That I age them. You know, you use a dry brushing technique where you use, and it makes them look like they're beat up and scuffed up. And you know, like this, the pattern is
I love
is
that.
burnt in.
I want my roof in my kitchen to look like that. The ceiling.
You probably could do it. Yeah, you know, and you can change the depth of this. This is actually engraved in. It's like the wood split, and but you also can remove that if you want just a nice clean treasure chest. That can be done also.
I got to see what this shot glass is about.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
the only thing that's not wood. I'm like, what is this?
I do. I also do glass.
Okay.
I can do champagne glasses, pint beer glasses.
Again, I'm thinking wedding.
Yeah,
wedding
stainless steel,
gifts.
like the mugs there. Those are powder coated. I also can do regular stainless steel on knives, cutlery. You know, if you want to do bride and groom on a stainless steel knife and you know, cake knife set. And then the shot glasses. This is actually just a frosted. It just engraves into the glass. But I also can engrave on the glass in colors. So it can be like a tinted blue or black.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then coasters are a big thing. I sell a lot of coasters.
Oh, really?
I do slate and tile coasters.
So with these ones, is it like it's a little lasered?
Yeah,
So
it's
that-
actually, what it does is it creates little micro cracks in the glass from the heat. And it creates that little frosted
Is that
look.
hard though? Does it break it sometimes?
I've never had an issue with it breaking. Sometimes, depending on the shot glass or the type of glass that's used or the formula, it can take a little bit more to etch into it, and you don't get it as vivid. The frosted ones I like, but they're a little. That would be great for champagne glasses because you want it kind of subdued and just kind of, you know, a light engraving. But I like the black where it really stands out, and everything is actually etched into the product. There's nothing painted on.
Right, so it's not going to wear
It's
off.
not going to wear off. Same with that. You know, when I do stainless steel, the powder coating is actually it's cut right through the powder coating into the stainless steel underneath.
Do you do large numbers at a time? So what kind of quantities are we talking about?
I can do pretty much any quantity. It's just how long it would take.
Right.
You know, I have two lasers sometimes running at the same time. So I have one set up mainly for that type of thing because there's a little rotary device used that rotates it.
Well,
as
I've
it's
never
engraving.
seen one of these machines. So what does it actually look like? Best you could describe it, because like I think of like an arm kind of moving, but I have
Well, yeah,
no idea.
that's more of a like a CNC laser is actually that's basically got like a router bit,
Okay.
and that actually engraves into the wood. This is basically mine is what is called an open laser. It's just a big frame, and it has a laser mounted to it on 2 axes that moves.
And then you put the object in there.
You put it in there, line it up. You set up your design on the computer, and then it goes through and does its thing. The biggest thing is is whatever you're engraving. You got to get your settings correct.
That's
so
what I
you
was
don't
wondering
burn-
about, because this is all different sizes. I mean, this is a curved area, and it's got to take that into account. And then some of it's flat, and you know what I mean. And there's box, everything's like
Do you have,
different
like-
sizes and shapes.
In the glassware, and like for example the tumbler, there's actually a rotary device that clamps it on the end, and instead of the laser moving in 2 axes, it actually one of the connections connects to the device, so
It
it
turns
moves this way, but it rotates it as
Nice.
it's engraving.
That's cool.
Yeah, so because it is curved, and if you just put it in there, the shot glass. Okay,
Sorry.
no,
I
I,
stole
yeah,
it,
no, I don't.
everyone. I stole it.
She was.
Yeah, the shot glass is actually that's about as much rotation as you really want to engrave without a rotary. These actually work good because there's not a whole lot of curvature.
Gotcha.
But what'll happen is it's very precise. You're focusing these lasers within a millimeter from the item. So as it turns, it's going to be farther away, and it's going to be out of focus, and it's going to change the look of the engraving. So that's what the rotary does, is it keeps it at the same level all the way around.
Man, I can't believe it's already break time again. I was like completely like enthralled. All right, well, we're going to go to break, and when we get back, we're going to have more BaaD Radio, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back. I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, Bolts Legal. Fear no storm with boltslegal.com. Crazy Muscle Nutrition, located on 436 in Castleberry. Imbalance Bodywork in Lake Mary. Derek Brantley is ready to help take your pain away. Forge IT Consulting, providing a fully outsourced IT department with a personal touch for small business. ForgeITConsulting.com. And we're here with Gerry Shorter with Made in Oviedo. And this whole show today has just been blown by, and it's just been fantastic, and I've loved it. And you've got so many cool, unique pieces here. But like I said during the break, I'm like, let's talk about a little bit where you want to go with Made in Oviedo. And you're talking about the customized stuff. So is it because everyone's a little bit unique?
Yeah, the customization is nice, and that's what I really enjoy, because I like the satisfaction of when you give somebody a piece and they're like, wow, this is way better than I thought. For example, there's a great store here in Oviedo Mall. It's Oviedo Olive Oil. They were out there at the show. And I made him 2 custom clocks, and he was so happy with them, because they took longer than I anticipated because of my analness. Every time I do something, I was like, no, I can be a lot better.
Right.
So I ended up doing all individual cut numbers and cut out his logo and painted it different colors. And it was just, I love doing the customization, because there's really no limit to it. You can put a family name, or, Christmas ornaments. You can put, baby's first Christmas. Or,
Well, the sky's kind of the limit.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? I really think about like gifts, and because, when you get together as a family for the holidays and you see family members that you don't really see, but you want to get them something, but you don't know what. Gary's your guy here.
And sometimes too, if you have big families, you can go broke buying something custom for everybody. Where some of this stuff can be fairly inexpensive.
Like a little ornament with somebody's name on it.
I do a ton of Christmas ornaments. I didn't have an opportunity to do a lot of Christmas shows because I didn't really get here full time until just before Christmas.
Right.
But I have hundreds of ornaments that I've designed, including I should have brought one. It's a little box shaped like an ornament, and it opens up, and it has 5 individual gnome Christmas ornaments.
I love that.
So just the things like that. And again, you can customize anything just because you see it a certain way. For example, the boxes here, when these are listed online, there's going to be a list of designs you can pick. But if you have your own graphic, say you have a logo and you have something from a store and you want to have something to give somebody, put the logo on there. We can do, pretty much anything that you come up with.
Also, we're about to be at the end of the school year, so teachers' gifts are always a big
oh my
thing.
gosh, yeah. Kids graduating, all sorts of stuff.
We do that for my goddaughter's teachers every year. Her mom actually does a really nice little package for all the teachers for Christmas and at the end of the year, and I usually put a little box or something in there. I have these nice little candle boxes. They're probably, I don't know, maybe the size of a standard coaster, but they have a little battery candle inside of them that flickers, and it puts a nice little pattern out on the wall.
That sounds like you.
Yeah.
That totally you would have.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
And the candle has a timer on it. So it's on for 6 hours, and then it goes off for 18.
That's pretty much the most of my house.
Yeah, so that way you can use it as a nightlight, and it's not going to stay on all the time and wear the battery out.
Right. So, so you said that you're in the process of getting your website up right now, and how intricate is that going to be?
Very intricate.
Okay.
It's a work in progress. It's up and functional now. It's made in Oviedo FL.com.
Love it.
Because there was a Made in Oviedo somewhere in South America. So
and you're like, it's just somebody bought it and
Yeah,
probably wants to sell it.
No, they have something on there. It's really, I went on there. I don't even understand really what they're selling. But
they're not doing a good job then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, but it's up. It's functional. You can order. I don't have nearly all the products up there. I'm continuing every week. I put more stuff up. Because it's a matter of photographing everything, and making the photographs look nice.
But I mean, like you said, there's a customized element to it too. So
Yeah.
you can do like bridal, like bridal kind of thing, or bachelor parties, or like all that sort of thing. Gifts for, you said, teachers, gifts for coaches, anything like that. Like I said, I think the only thing that would limit anybody is just their imagination.
Yeah, because I can also do plaques.
Okay.
So I can do a nice glossy black plaque that has gold inlay on it, because it's engraved and then it's painted gold into the
How
engraving.
does that thing do? Does it do pictures of people?
Oh, yes. You can do actual photographs on wood, on tile.
How does the people look, though?
It looks really good.
You can
it's-
actually see
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a
You can tell
person?
exactly what it is. I did a couple of sample coasters, wood coasters with people. Couple from one of the weddings that I did.
Okay.
Just so you could see what it is. But it's amazing. It actually engraves in grayscale. So it's pretty elaborate for a laser. These lasers have gotten
But I mean, from what I
amazing.
remember, for something like that, it had to be vector art so they could see the different layers. What you're saying to me is it can take a flat image and recreate it.
Yeah, what the software actually converts it to an image. I use a software called Lightburn, and it actually is designed it converts JPEG or PNG images from a photograph into a graphic that the laser can read.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But there's also websites that are actually that's all they're for. They're
They convert
some of them,
it.
yeah, you upload an image and it converts
Makes
it
it
for
layers.
you, and then sends it back down.
I
to
didn't
you.
realize that was a thing because I know that whenever if I ever had to make a sign for something, it's like you have to have vector art. You have to have vector art, vector art, vector art. I'm like, I know.
Oh yeah, I remember the days of using Illustrator.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
actually why the software has been so easy for me to learn because I had a lot of experience with Adobe Illustrator. And
Did you graphic design?
I did some actually when I worked for the Florida Seals. I assisted them in making some posters, and then we did prints for the guys, the players and stuff, and things like that. So I've had a lot of experience. I've always done all my own ad design and and things for that. So the Lightburn software is very, very similar to how Adobe Illustrator works. So,
Right. And I met you at an event, right? Is that right now a lot of how your marketing is going?
at the time, yeah. Now, just mainly trying to get the name out there since I decided to go at this full time and make this my main business. So, because I'm partially retired from the military, I have a 50% disability, so this works perfect. A little supplemental. I love doing it. So
I think that's the most beautiful thing ever is if you can do something to make some money, then do something that you love, and it's so unique. Then you know what? Hats off to you.
Yeah, the
I
old
love
saying,
it.
it's not a job if you love doing it.
I
So
agree with
so-
that. I agree with that. Well, while the website's getting up and running and things like that, do you encourage people just to call you to do?
Yes, if
customized
there's something
orders
they
and
don't
stuff?
see, I'm actually one of the things that's going to say on the front of the website is there's no limit. You know, for example, a box or a treasure chest, I may only list a few different colors, but somebody may want a purple one. I can do that, you know, or if you like I said, if you have your own graphic you want on something.
Right. So I
And-
could call you and be like, hey, I need a gift idea for somebody, and then we can actually talk
and
about
I
it.
don't actually charge anything to do a rough mock-up of
Like a
what I would do.
design?
Yeah, and then like if you have a graphic, and I can send you something to show what it would look like on a box. And then I mean, you can't get the full look, but I have mock-ups of most of the boxes where I can put the graphic on it. You know, just to show you this is what the box would look like with
Right.
this particular graphic. Can't get the full appreciation because it's just a two-dimensional image, but
Sure.
It'll give you an idea.
I'm trying to think. Like I said, this is all so
Do you have any
adorable.
physical places that you have your pieces in, like
I
the Mario
have-
Vito store?
I have some stuff in Oviedo, my Oviedo store, and I've got
Wonderful.
some stuff, and I'd like to get some more in different. Eventually, I'd like to open up a store.
I was gonna say, yeah, brick and mortar would be fun.
Yeah, I just not at that point yet where I
Right.
can afford
Down
to
the
do that.
road.
Yeah.
That's overhead right there.
Yep.
So we're actually wrapping up the show. We've got about 50 seconds left. So now's your time to give all your contact information, your website, everything like that, and how people get in touch with you.
My name's Gerry. You can reach me on my website, which is www.madeinovido.com or
FL.
madeinovidofl.com. If not, you'll go to South America somewhere. You won't understand what they're selling. But no, and my phone number is 989-418-0597. And the email is Gary@madeinovidoflorida.com.
Awesome.
All right, and you can find me at strikingbrand.com or email Melissa at strikingbrand.com.
I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors and thank you for tuning in. Have a great week, everyone.